90% of Africa's issue is not spiritual. We are all zombies, actually. We are all victims of our environment. Your environment programs you to behave in a particular way.
On this episode 7 of the Zali Show, we visit Dr. Osaz. You know, I caught you in your habitat. You are just, yes.
It's habitat.
You understand? Because somebody told us that pretty soon, it's like drones will be following us everywhere. We won't have secrets anymore. Whatever you say anywhere. So we came to his house. And for those of us who are watching on TV, you're watching on TV, and those on podcasts who don't know you, let them meet you.
Okay, so my name is Deji Osaz, popularly known as Dr. Osaz. Dr. Osaz. So I call myself the brain rewire. I'm a rewire. I rewire people's brain. So I'm trained as a medical doctor by background training. I'm also a neuropsychologist, a life and performance coach, a psychotherapist, and also a management consultant.
I learned your hand went into clinical experience, or something where working in a hospital.
Yes, I worked with the Nigeria Air Force Hospital. I was with Nigeria Air Force for a couple of years before I decided to go fully into neuropsychology and coaching, essentially mind and behavioral coaching. Or main reason because I look at the two main issues in Africa. You can also call it three main issues, but I will limit it to the two main issues in Africa: poverty and diseases. Poverty and disease. The third one is leadership issues.
Poverty, disease, and leadership.
They are all tied to behavioral dysfunctions. And that's why I always say that 90% of Africa's issue is not spiritual. Majority of Africa's issue.
this show is disruptive. We are disruptive. Zali Show is always disruptive. I want you to repeat that point again.
I say to people, and I've said it several times at churches where I speak, I say it on my radio show, I say it everywhere. The large chunk of Africa's issue is not spiritual. It's just mental and behavioral. We have too many behavioral dysfunctions accountable for the poverty, the massive poverty in Africa, and I dare say in Nigeria. Behavioral dysfunctions are accountable for a lot of diseases.
Agree.
So we have the top 4 or 5 diseases in Africa, from lower respiratory tract infection accounting for number 1 commonest cause of death, to HIV, to diarrhea, to...
When you say HIV, behavioral, what?
Yes, because sexual behaviors and attitudinal. There are some people that are still hell-bent on their attitudes towards social promiscuity or unprotected sex. There are some cultural beliefs, cultural myths that some people will tell you blatantly, bros, I don't believe in.
But there's also this spiritual implication or this spiritual perspective of people who say, don't speak about condom, don't talk about that.
Yeah, so I'm getting there. So there are cultural beliefs, religious beliefs also. Some people will tell you, don't speak about condoms. There are some churches that don't even believe in family planning, the family planning method. So too many issues. Some churches are even anti-technology. Anything that has to do with preventing conception or even usage of condom. They dare not even talk to young people about condom. They say because we are encouraging sexual immorality.
Dr. Osaz, let's leave this part. Let's leave the part, but this is serious. Now, I train talent. I work with talent. I've been working with talent. You as a behavioral scientist, what would be your advice? I run Christian talent community. I have this skills arena where we discover them, we develop them, and we put them out there. One big behavioral anomaly I always get is, I don't have help. I can't. Blame game. I don't have the money. Excuses. What would you say to someone watching now, listening to us on podcast, watching, and he has these problems? What will you tell them that this is what you need to do?
So I always say this: The outcome you are experiencing in your life now is a function of the behaviors that birth it. The outcome you're going to experience in the next 1 year, or 2 years, or 5 years, or 10 years, it will be a function of the behaviors that you impute. You want to change your outcome in life, change your behavior.
You want to change your outcome in life, change your behavior.
Change your result in life, change your behavior. And behavior is hinged heavily on principles that govern that area of your life. So that's why some people get it right in financial area of their life, but they don't get it right in the health area of their life. Some people get it right in the health area of their life, they don't get it right in their relationship or marriage. Because the principles that govern each area, you cannot just blindly say you want to behave in a particular way all through. If the behavior is not working for you, you've got to do a self-audit. Become self-aware of what is breaking you and what is taking you backward, and change it.
Can this self-audits, no, I don't want this, I want this, I need to adjust this. Can you
So at
create
times,
balance?
yes, at times you might not be able to discover it yourself. People might be pointing it out to you, but ego, emotional shielding,
pride?
Yes, pride and the likes can make you ignore it and become numb to it. So the onus is on you as you're progressing in life, as you're growing. I always say this: it's not your fault if you were given birth to in poverty. It's not your fault if you were given birth to by parents that acculturated you with wrong beliefs and behavioral patterns and habits. Let's say your father used to beat his wife,
Okay.
and you grew up to seeing that and you had that tendency. It's not your fault if you grew up, but from the age of 21, it becomes your fault. From the age of 21, and it's neuroscientifically proven, because at that age of 21, the frontal brain, the area we call the thinking brain, the first stage of brain development.
Okay.
The first stage of brain development is already getting matured, meaning that you are responsible for your reasoning, for your judgment. You are able to weigh the pros and cons of your actions, the consequences and benefits of your action. So at that stage, you need to begin to remodel your life, rebrand yourself. That's what I call rewiring. And the truth is that whether you speak in tongue or not, whether you go to church or not, you pick up subliminally, subconsciously, some habits that are going to sabotage your progress in life, health, financial, relationship. It's for you to put a pause when things are not working. It could be in finance, it could be in marriage, it could be in health, it could be in friendship, it could be in career, it could be in business. You put a pause. Instead of getting carried away by the emotional roller coaster of life and work, pause yourself and ask yourself, what am I garbaging in that is making me to garbage out rubbish?
My perspective, I need you to throw light on this for somebody. People out there are lots of people, loads of people. What we're trying to do is, so anytime people go through this, the depressed people talk about suicide, I tell them that suicide is just the only alternative left at that moment for them. If they had, for me, that's my perception, that if they had another alternative, that when you walk through somebody on the way, you walk, and you come into, especially leaders, they do that a lot. They come into an office and they, hello, how are you? And they walk past you. They don't really mean it. If you say, how are you, and you meant it, the person who's receiving it and know that you meant it, that how are you could just be, how's your family, your brother, how's your sister, have you eaten today? Like, how are you, really? But they say, how are you, like an escape route to just bail out of the place. And you understand that? What would you say to somebody who's depressed to the point where, we're going to depression, but to that point where
suicide attempt or suicide. So this is it. We grew up in a society that we're all programmed. I say we're all zombies until you
Zombies?
We're all zombies, actually. We are all victims of our environment. Your environment programs you to behave in a particular way. So whether you are 60 something years or 20 something years, we're all zombies. And that's why, in a way, because in terms of behavior, a lot of times people think I'm the one taking a decision. It's not you taking a decision alone. Your environment, your education, your experience, your exposure, the 4 E's of life are contributing to that decision. So you think you're the one taking the decision. However, this is it. For example, let me give an example. When someone asks you, how are you doing? Default response will be, I'm fine, thank you.
I'm fine, thank you.
Even when things are not going well. It's now the responsibility of the person asking to go deeper. No, I don't mean for courtesy
No,
sake.
but doctor, I agree with you, but like when I say, doctor, how are you? You know, we chat on phone,
Yes.
and there are some certain things I send to you, and you laugh and you respond like, you know I meant it.
And but this is it. Programming is subconscious.
Okay?
So the person is not responding at the level of consciousness. Habits are subconscious. So something you have repeatedly done over the years.
Been internalized.
A pathway has been established in your brain for it. So
Okay.
you're not thinking before you do it.
Okay.
Is a subconscious, is an autopilot mode. So fine, thank you, is a subconscious behavioral
So I
response.
need to repeat it emphatically.
So that's why even in communication skills, if you want to ensure that someone gets the intent and content of your message, you've got to re-emphasize and reframe to gain a feedback that will confirm that the intent and content have been received. So I won't say the responsibility is more on the person saying fine, thank you. If the person is really passing through a lot,
Yes.
at that point you might not be able to be in
To
charge
trust you
of the
enough to
response.
even, yes.
But if you are intentionally asking,
An
if you
observant.
are not just doing it for courtesy sake,
Yeah.
you're intentionally asking, you go beyond courtesy and say, okay, so I know you've responded, but I really mean it. Hope all is well. How are you doing? How is your marriage? How is your life? And a lot of times we'll be able to pick people passing through depression early. The problem with our society is this: beyond your programming, there are too many factors that will suppress someone from opening up. So one of it is religious.
Religious.
Our society sees people that enter into depression as not being spiritual. You don't have the word. Our sister.
The word is not in- the word is
Where's
not
the
in
word
you.
of God in your life? Come on. Aren't you prayerful enough? Aren't you a prayer warrior? Aren't you a man of faith?
Doctor, pause first. You are a spiritualist. You're a Christian, right?
Yeah, I'm
so
very
just to let that out so that it does not.
I'm very spiritual.
You're very spiritual.
I'm actually an ordained pastor.
So you didn't get that from me. The other part. So
But the reality is this, and it's the bitter truth, and we need to we need to stop just deceiving ourselves.
Yeah.
Reality. See,
it's a facade, a placard. Just,
Obus, we are having an epidemic. Mental health challenges in our society is at an all-time high. It's at an all-time high.
you mean
Nigeria is
from
rated
leadership?
Nigeria is rated as the fifth most prone suicide most prone country in the world.
Whoa.
Fifth most suicide prone country
In the world.
Nigeria. Fifth.
As at today.
Fifth most suicide
Number
prone
5
country in the world. And we're seeing it in our environment among the youth. In fact, it's said globally that suicide is the commonest cause of death among youths between the ages of between 16 and 25 years.
Doctor, let me bring this back. Now, there's a talented young boy out there. This is really done for you to get a lot of information so that you can know which direction to take your life. Because not everybody can lead you. You can have many mentors, but I don't believe in mentors. I believe in heroes. The perfect picture of Christ. Because most mentors become tormentors sometimes. But we are saying this to you so that if you have a talent, you have a skill, you have a gift, you have a dream, and there are hiccups, something choking you, when people ask you, how are you? Ask them, really?
Yeah.
You should ask
Go
them,
deeper, really on that.
Doctor, you
Especially if you are picking the cues that I've not been hearing from him, or he's looking dull, the facial appearance,
Yes.
or by virtue of acquaintance that this guy is trying to bat something. As a matter of fact, I say this: any entrepreneur is passing through a lot of emotional challenges. Any entrepreneur in
Yes.
Africa or Nigeria
wants to make sure it succeeds.
whether you are talent entrepreneur or business entrepreneur or whatever, it's not easy. It's quite challenging. It's quite challenging.
There are 2 powerful areas I will need you to also just jump into before we wrap this up. And I hope that we're able to cover as much as possible within the shortest time frame, so you get something from that. I want to move to the area of resilience. How do people build resilience?
Okay, so resilience has become, according to World Economic Forum, World Health Organization, United Nations, the most important skill needed in the workplace of today is grit.
Especially in our society.
Grit in today's VUCA world. We call it VUCA marketplace. VUCA.
Vocal.
VUCA.
VUCA.
VUCA
VU.
is a business and terminology. representing volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous marketplace. Today's environment of work or market environment is volatile, is uncertain, is complex and ambiguous. So making the most important skill you need as an entrepreneur or entrepreneur working in an organization as an employee to be grit, which is a combination of resilience with passion. Now, what is resilience? Resilience essentially is bounce back ability. Ability to, I call it the innate ability because it's actually in you. Innate ability to bounce back from challenges of life or work thrown at you, and they are bound to come. Life will not be full of roses, and in fact you can't pray away challenges. The day you have successfully prayed away challenges, you have stopped your life from moving on, because you're not going to change. There are challenges, birth change. So challenges will be thrown at us. Challenges of our dreams, challenges of manifesting or expressing or maximizing our talent, challenges related to wealth creation, challenges related to relationship, raising kids, parenting, academic, career development, health. Challenges will be thrown at us, relationship with boss, relationship with customers, with colleagues, and the likes. People will disappoint you. There will be frustration
Trying to get
along the
what
way.
you want.
There are sometimes that things will be good, there are sometimes things will be bad. There will be lack once in a while, in the midst of abundance once in a while. So, however, the problem is not the challenges.
The problem is not the challenges.
What stops us in life is not the challenging situation. It is what on how we respond to the challenging situation.
We respond
That stops us. So, resilience is all about that innate ability in you to bounce back.
How do I develop
From
it? How
these
do I
challenges.
build it? How do I
Now,
hone that?
I meant innate because it's actually in you. It's now for you to be able to connect with it. And there are basic steps to take.
Every man has it.
Every man has it, because we are all created in the nature of God, in the image of God. Permit me to go a bit into the scripture.
Yeah.
I hope it's allowed.
Go ahead, go ahead.
So in Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, then verse 2.
Yep.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. That was the first creation. Then verse 2 says, and the earth was without form, without shape, and without function. Now between verse 1 and verse 2, there's a gap of 600 years.
Yeah.
So verse 1 was about the real first creation. Verse 2 was when the devil was thrown down to the earth with 1/3 of the angels. And when that happened, which God did by himself, when that happened, God withdrew the sun. When God withdrew the sun, no light on earth. And because of that, moon does not have his own light. It reflects the light of the sun. So there was no moon also. This has implications on the earth. There's no light from the sun, therefore plants started dying because they require the light of the sun for photosynthesis. And as soon as plants started dying, oxygen became short in supply because plants breathe out oxygen. Now, human beings require oxygen to be breathing to be alive. So because plants are dying and oxygen is in short supply, humans started dying. Now life was wiped out. And because moon stopped reflecting the light of the sun, because there's no light from the sun also, moon regulates the ocean bodies.
Okay, yes.
The movement of water. So
science, some science postulations disagree.
Yes, but the truth is that most theories approve it.
Okay, but you're driving at a point. Let me
moon regulates the ocean body, and water from the ocean,
boisterous,
moved beyond their boundaries and covered the whole earth. So life was wiped out. Sun was withdrawn, so darkness covered the whole earth. Life was wiped out, then waters covered the whole earth. That's what the Hebraic version says, Tohu Bohu. Now, this is the work of God. God created heaven and earth, and God looked at it, it was good. Then all of a sudden, because of the devil was thrown down to the earth, everything was shapeless, formless, and functionless. We got bounced back. Verse 3. And the Spirit of God moved over the waters.
That's the bounce back.
The Spirit of God moved over the waters, and God said, let there be light, or light be. I will take it from there.
Okay.
There are 4 steps you want to bounce back from any challenge in life. Number 1 is self-awareness. You must be aware of who you are, your identity. Especially if you're a Christian, your identity in God. Who are you in Christ Jesus? When you are aware of your identity, then you move to your strength and shortcomings. I don't want to call it weaknesses.
Okay.
Shortcomings or struggles. The truth is that no matter
how, like the have and have not.
No, our personality, strength and struggles.
Okay.
We all have strengths and struggles. My own drive is this: focus and maximize your strength.
Your strength.
If you have shortcomings or struggles, what we call weaknesses in psychology, look for people to compliment you. I have problem with a lot of
If you have,
people
if you have
islands to themselves,
if you
they don't
have
connect, they
weakness
don't
or
collaborate.
shortcoming,
Look for people
people.
to compliment. I know the areas of my business that have shortcomings, and I look for people that are better to handle it for me.
Mugu, stop working alone.
Being aware of your personality strengths and shortcomings, so that your strength you can maximize and focus more on it. Your shortcomings or your weaknesses, you can look for people to complement and collaborate.
And
with
these are
on those
within your
areas.
environment.
Then you must be aware of your emotions, the emotions that are making you or taking you further in life, or the emotions that are
Pulling you back.
breaking you and pulling you back. And emotions are unreasonable. If you don't pause to track them, you will not realize that this is what is killing. For example, some of us are carrying bitterness, some of us are carrying sadness, some of us is the bitterness that is making us to give excuses and throw blame. It's because my parent didn't give back to me in a rich environment.
Dr. Osaz, blame, excuses, I believe they are products of laziness.
So they can be product of laziness, they can be product of wrong mental programming and the like.
Because why I said so, you know, I operate from another perspective, but I'm trying to make sure we can fit the beats together for someone. Now, I said so because one, I don't have money. You get money by looking for what to do to get money. And I beg, they will I don't
Let me even say this.
Excuse.
Anytime you are complaining or giving excuses or throwing blame on another person, you have shut down your subconscious mind. And I will tell you the importance of this. Anytime you are complaining, giving excuses, or throwing blame concerning something in your life at someone else,
that's about resilience. I don't want to.
You are
can
shut.
No, fight. Listen, I'm telling you, I'm right. I'm like 2 voltage. No, both wires. Yeah, you know me. So this is really exciting. I'm getting too excited. And now, Doctor, I want to come back to. There's something I call the new sheriff in town. New sheriff in town. Social media, the internet. You know, the old people. I don't see myself as one of the old people. I'm a young dude. You know, so.
You say so?
Yes, they don't try me. They resist change. They see the Facebook, Instagram.
The human brain naturally resists change.
They see it as this is the devil's workshop. This is a new thing that is destroying our children. They are always focused on. And I said, dog, every money I make now comes from here. How do I get? When did we see last? CED conference, Christian Entertainment Development Conference. That was the last time we saw. How do we engage again? Not even call. WhatsApp. So people don't understand why I am doing this disruptive Zali show. Why I'm doing this is because I'm discovering talents, I'm working with them, they seem to be pulling me down rather than, so I decided, no, let me focus and reposition myself where I can be able to jolt them up. Now, the big 2 things, apart from their excuses and the rest, is good production and good visibility. They don't have it. But the new sheriffs now, Facebook, they brought this to us.
Disrupted that.
They brought this so I can become an entrepreneur on my own.
Yeah.
And big mega brands can get to me to discuss business. So market is now thrown wide open. Why are people struggling with the shift?
So I will share a story, a short story, a real life story. There's a lady that just officially opened or washed, the way we call it, washed a house. She bought the house herself. I know her very well. She bought the house herself. Somewhere on this island, although a little bit far from here.
We're in Lekki, this doctor's habitat, Lekki, but I don't tell you where.
So she bought the house herself. 4 years ago, she was chasing different TV stations to have a show on it, a relationship show. And because she didn't have connection and everything, and she couldn't produce on her own because it's quite costly to have the gadget and everything.
Yes.
But 3 years ago, after futile effort of chasing TV station, she started her online show. Online show on Facebook, then gradually migrated to Instagram. And it's on relationship. She does Instagram live once in a while. She has a forum for chat and discussion and
Yeah.
reaching out to her
All the
on
features are there.
Instagram.
They're very
And before you knew it, she has grown her Instagram page to about 370 something thousand
people.
followers, and people pay her for advert on it. People pay her for sponsorship and the likes. And she went and gets some skills in relationship therapy and coaching. People pay her premium for relationship services, and I know a bit of how much she makes from adverts and sponsorships alone, and I know a bit about how much she makes from a lot of relationship products, audio visuals, podcasts, not from Nigeria alone, outside Nigeria, and she's able to buy her own house. Now, what am I saying in this? The dimension of the world is in two orders. The whole world is a global village now.
A global village.
It's a global village. You are not limited to Nigeria. You can connect with anybody, any part of the world. You can connect with anybody, any part of the world, if you know how. Secondly, you are not limited by your present resources again. If your focus is on, this is the little I have and it's not enough, it will not be enough for you. You get what you focus on, you attract what you focus on. But if you tell yourself, and you repeatedly tell yourself, whatever I have is enough, your phone is enough, the little money you have is enough, the network
somewhere.
you have, start from there.
Start
it's
somewhere.
Okay to dream big. It's okay to think big.
Of course.
And dream big, but don't stay there. Dream big, start small, grow fast. Behave like your God. God declares the end from the beginning. So this is what he does. He wants to achieve something. He travels into the way, not really travel because he doesn't have, there's no time and space within. It's the beginning and the end. He looks at the end, captures it, return back to the beginning and process it and work it out. Capture the desired future you want for your talent. Capture it. Be clear about it. Be crystally clear about it. However, the problem with a lot of youth is that they get stuck in that future. So they get stuck in fantasies about the future.
Yes.
You must come back to the beginning and start working
And work it out.
How do you do that? Break that desired future, that dream, that goal into small chunks, small units, till it matches the level of your present resource, where you are now, what you have in terms of finance, in terms of tools, in terms of gadgets, in terms of skills, in terms of network, and start with that. Just make sure it aligns with where you are going. Just keep doing it. That's the principle that built Japan, principle of Kaizen. So stop getting carried away by fantasies. Stop comparing yourself with someone that has achieved and you are dreaming so big and you are lost in that dream. When you dream,
I'm so loving
wake up from that dream and do the work.
I'm so loving
and be patient. You got to do the work. The process is more important than the promise. God might have given you a promise.
If you need to get the process, you need to come to doctor. You need to come to doctor.
I always say this. Let me quickly say
Yes.
this. To correct a misnomer in our society.
Yep.
We get carried away by prophetic declarations too much. And because pastor,
Doctor, let's not go there now. Okay, feel free. Prophetic declaration.
And I'm not against prophet. I do that.
Yes.
By
That's
the
the
Holy
power of
Spirit.
positive speech.
Yeah,
Positive
personally
speaking.
or even from a pastor or a prophet.
Or positive
However, the truth is this: prophecies will not
They
manifest
don't fulfill themselves. Yeah.
by themselves.
Or fulfill itself.
So there is a promise from God for your life.
must
You hold
activate
on to it.
You must activate
But
it.
there's a process for delivering it. You know
Yep.
why it's important, Obus? The promise gives you what you desire, but the process turns you into who God desires.
Yeah.
And if who God desires in you does not evolve, you will not be able to carry for long what you desire.
So life is a marathon. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Ain't going nowhere. Doctor, thank you so much. I believe a lot of people are getting loads of information from this, especially the new age. You know, I believe that the old will die soon.
Yeah.
You know, the very old will pass away, then the new will come. So a new generation, there's a paradigm shift in everything. Tell me about From Stress to Wellness.
Okay,
This is Dr. Osaz's first book.
Yeah, that's the first
Fantastic
book I
book.
released as a professional behavioral change expert, I think in 2013. And it's because working with a lot of professionals and businessmen in the corporate sector, I discovered stress is a major issue in our society. Stress is responsible for a lot of illnesses, especially non-communicable diseases, hypertension,
Yeah.
diabetes, cancer, and the like. And it's also responsible for a lot of marital conflicts. in our society. It's also responsible for a lot of greed we have in our society. Most people don't handle their stress very well, and the emotional stress has hijacked their brain, what we call amygdala hijack. So they are reacting to life, not responding to life.
Well, they are reacting to life,
not responding to life.
responding.
So, a lot of
yes,
so a lot of people in Africa, especially in Nigeria, my focus is on Nigeria now, are actually operating from the brain survival mode.
Brain survival
mode. The survival mode of the brain, what we call the superficial mode, is just focused on routine tasks.
Food on my table.
What you have been doing before, and something that will just make me keep living, surviving, not thriving. And at that level, in that mode, you don't really care about consequences.
And you don't truly live.
You don't really care about consequences. You don't really care about significance and the like. So you're just chasing survival, and it's the lowest level of operation. It's like an animalistic living.
Is it on PDF? Is it online? Can you secure it online?
Yes.
You get this book. Get it. Get this book. Get this book. You love it. Get this book. We're running out of time now. The 40-day weight fitness challenge.
The second book I released.
Why did you do this?
So I discovered that we have a lot of weight loss fitness
Is
books.
it a mental problem? Emotional?
Yes, from the Europe, from America, but really don't have the ones that is tailor-made for Africa, for Nigeria.
Well,
so I decided to
setting.
dedicate 1 year of exploring and researching the lifestyle of an average Nigerian, of an average African, and the behavioral or mental programming that leads to that, and that's what led to this book. So there are 40 habits I identified that sabotage people's weight, that eventually lead to disease and a lot of things, or sabotage people's fitness journey. So those 40 habits, I put it as a challenge, day 1 to day 40.
This is what I'll do. For those of us, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You get there, I'll get you the first 5 people who give me a good reason why they need any of this book. I'll get it for you. You still have them. You have some of them. We can get some of them.
So we have some of these, and some of the third and fourth book.
I want to ask you about stress to happiness.
The third book is Train Your Brain for Success.
Train your brain for
100
success.
life stories
Yes.
for becoming unstoppable in life.
Yes.
Then the fourth one, which is the latest one, is Train Your Brain for Happiness.
Train your brain for happiness.
I say happiness is a lifestyle, and there are lifestyle habits that can sabotage your
I want you
happiness.
to just tell me yes, no. Happiness is a choice?
Happiness is a choice.
Fantastic. You've heard that. If you want to be really
Because
happy.
happiness is actually a function of the chemicals beating your brain, and these chemicals can be triggered and released in response to certain activities, certain lifestyle habits in your life. It's not a function of the situation; it's a function of your lifestyle response to situations.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to us on podcast or you're watching us on YouTube. You need to also follow us on our social media platforms. Especially follow me, Obuz Zali, Obuz Zali. You see me, you see it on the social media on the screen, and follow me on our social media. Then, Doctor, your social media handles.
On Twitter at DROSAZ, that's Dr. Osaz, and on Instagram at DR_OSAZ.
_OSAZ. Follow him. Now you have the door open. Let the can of worms spew. Let the honeycomb. So you don't have any right to say you failed or you're sick or whatever. You need to first get your mental perception, your mind, your mental health in place. Don't worry, you'll be hearing more, but I want to appreciate, Doctor. I want to ask you one more final question. If you have the opportunity to change 2 things in Nigeria, in our society, what would be the 2 things you do?
1, regulations of religious outfits. That's the first thing. Why? Because religion forms like 70% of our cultural
Across board.
beliefs and
When you
values.
say religion, across board.
Across board. Islam,
Christianity, Islam,
cross board.
Hinduism.
If you don't get religion right, forget it. The beliefs and values driving people's decisions and behavior will be wrong. I always say to people, when you're saying that we should not challenge the religious outfit, look at all our leaders, the president, the vice president, the number 3 citizen, number 4 citizen, the ministers, they are from churches and mosques.
I believe politicizing religion is super silly. For me.
So we need to get it right. Religion should be driven towards selflessness, service unto humanity and God.
That's why.
But religion today in Nigeria is largely acquisition,
selflessness,
yes.
Doctor. That's why we
service
are
unto
doing
humanity
this.
and God, and that's what we are getting wrong in our society. People don't have service orientation.
Listen, thank you. For me, the delta for me doing this, the delta for me is somebody who does not have to pay me money to be safe but get this information from me for free and say, wow, thank you. The thank you goes a long way. My wife will tell me, anytime I tell you thank you, it's like you want to run through a wall. That's it. Appreciation for me is just words of mouth, because I have this I have this indebtedness to God, gratitude. Doctor, I'm grateful for life. My empathy helps me to look at someone and be selfless, not go back on my shell and create a cyst around me. I want you to tell, there's something I know. The second
thing is the judicial system.
Judicial system.
The pillars of the throne of God, the righteousness and justice.
Yes.
So if I am able to get the religion right, I will be able to get the righteousness, mentality right.
Right judgment.
And justice must be there also. People must know that there are checks and balances. If you default or you derail, there are consequences, and it will be followed through. Not that you can buy your way through it or you can bribe your way out.
Even scripture says justice. God is a just God.
Yes, the two pillars of the throne of God. Yes.
Even our justice
righteousness and justice
symbol, our justice symbol, our producer is speaking at us, telling us to wrap up. Your justice symbol is balanced.
So when there are checks and balances and people know, they have that mental programming that I can't buy my way out of this. I can't bribe out of this. No matter what I do, I can't meander out of this. You garbage in, you garbage out.
Folks, you're out there on podcast, you're listening on YouTube, you're watching the videos, and I want you to go there and let's continue the conversation, because when conversations keep coming, things change.
True.
Dr. Osaz.
Thank you,
Final
my
word.
man. So, final word, I will say this to you. What limits you in life is less about the situation that is challenging or you're facing. What limits you in life is more about how you respond to the situation. Be in charge of how you respond to the situation. You are God. The nature of God is in you. You can be in charge. You are called to be in charge. Be in charge of your thought process. Be in charge of your feelings. Be in charge of your daily behaviors, and you see your result change. When you change behavior, you change results. Stop throwing blame. Stop giving excuses. Know that you are the captain of your life. The fate of your talents, of your desires, of your dreams and goals is in your hand. It's all about you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I do this live so that you know that I'm crazy about the internet now. This is me and Doc on set, and if you can have any questions, send them across. Okay, we'll see you folks. Get out of here.